oath of office that Governor Gary Herbert took, and we intend to hold him accountable for that oath. I, Governor Gary R. Herbert, having been elected to the office of governor, do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of Utah, and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity. Will we hold him accountable? Yes. Governor Gary Herbert, these are the words that you swore to. The declaration that we have, Mike is going to be giving a shortened version so we know what the main points are.
Officers of the government and the judicial system have failed to protect the rights of the individuals and their property as duly charged by the United States Constitution. Every Utahn that has been restricted by emergency pandemic orders under the color of law has been deprived of life, liberty, or property without their individual due process as granted by the 14th and 5th Amendment of the United States Constitution. Number 3, the powers to legislate was attempted to be transferred from the legislature to the governor's office. Usurpation, exactly. Number 4, and if you go to the Declaration of Independence, I think you will find a great number of similarities here. Oh, we on number 4? There have been repeated violations ignoring the separation of powers between the executive and the legislative branches. Number 5, the state of Utah has ignored the right of the people to contract, thus adversely affecting employment and business operations and destroying the economy.
Boo!
Boo.
20 grand!
Boo!
Number 6, the state by and large has ceased to operate as a republic and has instead assumed the powers of a monarchy, destroying the right of the people to the separation of powers in their government. Number 7, boo. The imposition of policies and regulations upon the people that have impaired the God-given, constitutionally guaranteed free exercise of religion. The imposition of policies and regulations upon the people that have abridged the right of the people to peaceably assemble. Number 9, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, papers, houses, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures, guaranteed by the 4th Amendment of the U.S. Bill of Rights, is being destroyed and ignored through utilization of technology and personnel to track and surveil the people's movements and actions. Number 10, the suspension of habeas corpus has been unlawfully imposed through lockdown of quarantine and isolation through court hearings and rulings justifying such impositions. Number 11, the state has violated the 5th Amendment of the Bill of Rights by demanding people witness against himself, by demanding information regarding travel, association, medical procedures, their health, etc., and to be truthful under the presumption of penalty. Oh, let's hear that one. I want to hear a bell. Number 12, the people's freedom of travel and association has been restricted. Number 13, the governor has pretended the authority to demand the faculty and students of educational institutions wear masks, engage in antisocial behaviors. Yeah. And pretend the authority to jail and fine individuals for non-compliance.
So wrong.
Number 14, the governor has, contrary to the limiting words of Utah Code and the opposing consensus of the legislature, while met in special session, arbitrarily and unilaterally declared a statewide continuation of a state emergency upon Utah and extended policies and regulations upon the people associated with such state of emergency. Number 15, the pandemic numbers have been dishonest and manipulated from the beginning. Oh, let me hear that one. While a public face of pretending to care about accurate data is dishonestly put forth. Number 16, threats of shutdown and mandates under the false color of law continue to be ever present. Number 17, Utah businesses and residents have suffered unnecessary hardship to complete ruin under false pretenses of a rampant virus. Or as some of us call it, the virus. Number 18, the truth has not been spoken, and it has been suppressed that the virus is not a threat. The healthy need to work, the children need to breathe oxygen, and enjoy a normal learning environment. Number 19, a radical culture of fear has been created in an effort to control the lives of individual Utahns and has inhibited legitimate medical needs from being met, as people were either afraid of hospitals or not allowed to go or allowed to see their poor little baby. I want to hear a boo on that one. Angela Dunn has been allowed to continue her propagandistic media tour. Yeah, rampant with threats to shut down the economy, while the county health department she supervises assumes the power to govern the economy. Number 21, residents have been forced to relinquish the right to hold a job and run a business while breathing oxygen without a cloth or other face covering. A power which has no constitutional basis under any circumstance.
You can uncover your air holes.
Number 22. The government has claimed the authority to choose the individual's medication and treatment.
No way.
You're like silent, that front speaker there, I keep getting a buzz. Threats have been issued that people cannot have their freedom to live and get their lives back until the population submit to supposed medical treatment that is untested, risky, and said to modify human DNA. 24. Conspiring to deny Utahns the right to abstain from injectable and oral products of the pharmaceutical industry. Yeah, that's a very serious one. We need to stop this now before it gets there. Number 25, the denial of informed consent in the medical decisions of the people through dishonest data. Number
Totally
26,
made up data.
pharmacists have been prevented from prescribing certain medications, even when doctors have approved. Number 27, even though many public servants have admitted there was no danger, the excuse of getting more free money in exchange for continuing a state of emergency has been used to justify continuing the fake pandemic, thus treating our freedoms as if they were simply for sale for the right price.
Not for sale.
Number 28. A grossly unconstitutional, freedom-destroying contact tracing program has been implemented. Oh, it's worse than that. Invading the privacy of Utahns on behalf of a United Nations program. Worse than that, maybe. Number 29. Quarantine centers or isolation facilities have been prepared, evidencing a criminal conspiracy to take the freedoms of Utah residents. You can go to the Lions Club in Murray. They got one right there. You can just drive up around it. They've always got some police stationed there in the parking lot. If you want to go see it yourself. That's at least one we know of. Number 30. Oh, this is a crazy one. I don't think most people know about this one. The Utah National Guard was used to force elderly in senior care facilities into submitting to testing whether they wanted it or not, even withholding food until they got tested. crap, and it's more extreme than I even said there. They brought National Guard units into elderly care facilities to do this. We're talking guys with like guns and body armor for like the elderly that we should be respecting. Yes, here in Utah. Number 31.
Outrageous.
They have held jobs and businesses hostage with empty threats, acting under the false color of law. That might sound a little similar to the other stuff, but you can go to the thing, it's in more legalese. You get it.
Jenny Wilson sent spies to local businesses.
Yeah, they do. Number 33. The state has institutionalized child abuse in the taxpayer-supported schools, forced mask wearing and extreme rules of control, especially in elementary schools, and are causing, let me hear a boo. I want to hear a boo. And are causing severe trauma for thousands of children, even though the already dishonest data shows children rarely get the virus and do not become seriously ill or transmit it. None of that. And now we will move on to the subsection of 33 with A. This is really exciting stuff. Children are wearing masks that are more likely to put children at risk when their mouth and nose are covered.
Yes.
Children are kept from contact with other people, adults and friends. Children are unable to see and read their teachers' faces, even when the teacher does not wish to wear a mask. Children's every move is governed by radical rules designed to scare them into staying in isolation. A large number of students and teachers are getting daily headaches, hypoxia, acidosis, exacerbated anxiety, and asthma, and many other issues. Chronic deprivation of oxygen and rebreathing one's carbon dioxide makes a child or adult more vulnerable to getting sick.
You can feel it.
Teachers have been fired if they choose not to wear a mask. Students presenting health exemptions have been sent home as punishment. A conspiracy exists to try to deny as many health exemptions as possible, while schools lead parents to believe the right to not wear a mask was going to be honored by simply filling out a form. This was done by pre-warning doctors not to fill out a form, or by being overly nitpicky about which doctor credentials are preferred. That's what
Which
they're doing.
doctors?
They're undermining things. The health department is also going to all your restaurants. You might have a few restaurants that are not being lame, and the health department is going to those places quietly, and they're telling them they got to do stuff. When you guys, like, wherever the health department is, if you're from not Salt Lake County or wherever, you take this, you put it on their door. You go to businesses, you put this on their door. You take masking tape with you. You don't ask for permission. Use masking tape, it won't destroy anything. You put it on their door. And maybe the business, they probably won't like it that much. They won't go along with it because they're scared. I understand that. But you will plant a seed.
Seed of truth.
You'll plant a seed. And when things get worse, people will have to make a choice. Will they endorse the beast, or will they endorse freedom?
Freedom!
Right. So you do it anyway. You'll do it anyway. There will be people later on that will change their mind because they will finally see the immense evil before us. All right, what number am I on?
Doing a good job.
Let's see here.
Thank you.
Okay, children, you're welcome. Children are threatened or actually sent to isolation facilities or quarantine rooms in schools. Children who have exemptions and their parents have been bullied by teachers and administrators, or teachers have encouraged kids to bully them. Coaches and athletes are being quarantined for 2 weeks if a player has a positive test result. This is despite that the PCR tests used to detect this supposed virus
Don't detect it.
are inaccurate. And even the inventor himself, who has recently passed on, claimed that they were unfit for testing for infectious disease.
They weren't designed for that.
Now, these quarantines are happening for huge groups when the player who's tested isn't even ill. Many teachers are in tears, scared to lose their jobs, unable to breathe, and getting headaches every day, and are dealing with confusion and scared children who cannot learn. All right, so that concludes our, in my opinion, actually probably a short list of grievances. And as is the Constitution in the Bill of Rights, Article 1, you know, we have the right to petition for grievances, for the redress of grievances. Now, the Constitution doesn't give us rights; it guarantees them. We already have those rights. Yes. And when the Constitution says redress of grievances, like, we're not going to them, we're saying, hey, you know, if you could like do this thing, that'd be cool. That's not what a redress means. Redress means solve the problem. Yes. Governor Herbert, all of your bureaucrats, they all have the obligation to solve the problem. And the solutions are not the ones they're purporting. I'll tell you that much.
We have a solution.
And now I will read unto you the declaration for the termination of the state of emergency and emergency powers of the people by the people of Utah.
Yes.
Woohoo!
This is an official declaration that carries the weight of law. We have the authority to defend our rights and anyone else who wants us to.
Yes.
This is not just a piece of paper. Your authority comes from you.
Take action for freedom.
We must enforce our authority at this point. We, the people of the state of Utah, exercise our inalienable rights affirmed by the Declaration of Independence, the United States Constitution, and the Utah State Constitution to issue a vote of no confidence in the emergency actions and edicts regarding the alleged pandemic by the governor, lieutenant governor, and other branches of state and local government. All past, present, and future edicts related to the alleged pandemic issued in any form by any elected or bureaucratic bodies, including state, county, and local health departments, are null and void. All present and future actions related to any emergency power are null and void until such times as the grievances listed at the end of this declaration are redressed in full.